What's going on, everybody? It's Matt with The Real Shot, bringing you another back to basics tip. Today we're going to talk about how to inspect an arrow shaft. Why you'd want to do that is, first and foremost, most companies recommend after every shot that you inspect the arrow. What you're going to be inspecting the arrow for is any cracks or slight fractures, chips, breaks, anything like that that is going to jeopardize the arrow. Now, here at The Real Shot, we get a lot of questions. People come in, if they do notice something, they're like, can I shoot this arrow? Well, the simplest way to explain that is you're potentially shooting a ticking time bomb. So if this thing does have a slight crack or you miss it bad enough where it hits something solid like concrete, brick, rocks, anything, you potentially run the risk of this thing having a hairline fracture or even a big enough crack that on a shot it may explode and send carbon in areas around your hand, face, other people that you definitely don't want to go through. So first and foremost, if this happens and you do miss and you hit something solid, inspect the arrow very closely, slowly. What I do is I turn it, and like I said, I'm looking for areas of concern. So I'm looking for a crack, an obvious thing like that. Now, what I'll also do is after every shot is I will start close to the field point. Hopefully you don't do this with a broadhead on it. And I will start to flex the arrow back and forth. These arrows are pretty strong, so if there was an area of weakness and it breaks, well, there you go. Now you know that that shaft was jeopardized and it was probably a good idea to inspect it first and foremost. So I will work up and down the arrow, listening closely for any cracks, noticing any separations between the carbon or aluminum, depending what kind of arrow you're shooting. So I'll do that. Then again, I'm going to slowly inspect it, making sure there's no cracks. The other thing you're going to do is screw in and out of your field point, or if it was a practice broadhead or something like that, to notice any wobble. Sometimes the insert or the threading on the knock or the field point or the broadhead can get bent as well. So if you notice any threading issues, anything like that, that arrow is probably jeopardized. Putting it on a roller and spinning it is also a good way to tell too if something is not spinning right. You should do that to inspect most of your arrows anyways. Now, here's another quick tip as well. If you're having some knot fit issues on the backside, or if your arrow continuously pulls out with little effort, there's usually a crack in the backside of the shaft. And as I was going through the inspection on this arrow, I noticed that this arrow does have a crack. So if you don't inspect it properly, you may have never noticed that, or you wonder why. Some people come in and say, why do my knocks keep falling out? First thing we do is we identify the backside of the arrow to see if there are any cracks. Now, they're not always so apparent and easy to see. One thing you can do is take the throat of your knock, or the part that goes into the backside of the arrow shaft, slightly insert it, and just put a little bit of pressure, wiggling it back and forth. And if you see here, if I put a little bit of pressure upwards here, I just exposed the crack that was on the backside of this arrow. And I noticed that because the knock fit wasn't proper. It could be a factor, it could be a wrong knock, it could be just something hit and broke. So if I shot this arrow, I potentially run the risk of this thing blowing up. So make sure that even if you don't miss, to go through some of these steps to inspect every arrow, whether it be a crossbow bolt and or a vertical bow arrow, to make sure it is safe for you to shoot, and it's also going to lead to you being more successful and accurate on the range. So again, thanks for tuning in. My name is Matt, and this is A Real Shot Back to the Basics tip.